Hey, how do we get upstairs?
Over there by the eyelash vipers, there's some stairs.
Oh, Kylie, remember the Bushmaster? Kylie, remember the Bushmaster?
Hey Bill, this one here has the longest fangs.
Yes, Bushmaster. Oh, Kylie, King Cobra.
This is the one you fed last time, right?
Yeah, but his legs were out last drop.
That's the one I just can't stand.
It's my favorite.
This is the one that just looks the scariest.
Bushmaster used to do it. No, it was right there the whole time.
You getting fed today? Is that why you're acting like this?
And we're gonna get that snake because he said his mother used
What if this just like popped open real quick?
He's trying.
You can begin feeding some snakes. You can put your little ones up close to the front here because they go down quickest. And if you have a cell phone, please turn it off. Take all the pictures you like, but no cell phones, please. And as we work today, please remember, this is extremely dangerous stuff we're doing. We cannot pause and answer your questions in the middle of it. You've got to pay attention to what we're doing. So, if you can reserve your questions until after the show is over, we'll be glad to answer them. We're going to start with the longest species of viper in the world. The Bushmaster reaches a gigantic size for a viper of 12 feet. It's among the most deadly of all snakes. In one Costa Rican study, Bushmasters had killed 80% of their victims. It's 4 out of 5 people, even with ant venom. So when your enthusiasm to get in here with us, don't push these barriers down. Being very long snakes, they can strike very far. 12-foot long Bushmaster line. ribbons in here. Itty bit, you see the yellow venom running down off the fur. All go inside, some spills on the outside. Particular kinds of snakes have huge amounts of venom. Next we're going to show you the fastest strike particular snake. As you see, it's very thick set, it can't crawl very fast. Maybe that's why nature has endowed it with such speed when it strikes, to offset the fact that it can't chase its prey. Its whole strategy is to lie in wait for it, and it may lie in the same place for a month, waiting just like that for prey to come by. Venom is a horrible thing, rotting the flesh off of your body. You're bitten on the hand by a puff adder, your arm would swell and swell to 3 times normal size. Begin bursting open. Huge blisters would form all over your flesh, some of them the size of your fist. Would turn jet black, look as though your arm had been cooked up with a blowtorch. It would hurt about the same way. Over a course of hours, perhaps a day, your flesh would begin sloughing off, falling off to the skeleton. You would be looking at the bones in your arm, and before it was over with, you'd have to have an amputation to remove the entire limb. In Africa, where treatment is hard to find and infection is easy to get and develop, this is one of the secondary effects of the bite of the puff adder. So you could get a bite from the puff adder that wouldn't normally kill you, and you've been able to get here in America where the infection is not so prevalent. But over there, where even a mosquito bite can infect and become deadly, this bite kills you through this secondary effect. So maybe that's why so many people die from the puff adder bite. Now, they're very irritable snakes. You can't get anywhere near them because they strike blindly at anything that moves. And this is probably a survival of the trade. Make sure the puff adder doesn't miss a meal because, as you see, he's very fat. He likes to eat. He's extremely quick. Might do in the same way. Keep your eyes peeled or you'll miss this strike.
Wow.
Again, you see the black places where the fangs penetrated. The venom being injected deeply into the tissue, in fact, right into the organs of this animal. Enormous long.
You don't want to share.
That yellow snake, been staring at that red light in her bed.
All right. Until now, we've shown you snakes that kill their prey with a deadly poison, which they inject through a hollow hypodermic needle-type tooth into the prey, and of course, it has a fatal result. This next group of snakes has no such talent. They are, however, extremely powerful and very large, and they use a technique known as constriction to wrap up their prey and squeeze it to death. Articulated python, that's the longest species of snake in the world, between 33 feet. The Burmese python is right behind it. On the other side, you see the anaconda and over here the African rock python. All of these are the real giants of the snake world, and they can reach lengths of way over 20 feet and weights of up to 400 or even 500 pounds in a gigantic monster like that. These big serpents can swallow you whole. A boy of this size would make an excellent meal for our reticulated python. Would you like to come back next week?
What about me?
And we can follow you up for dessert. In fact, as I looked at the crowd, quite big people can be swallowed by very big pythons.
Ooh,
Yes, it's true. A young man of this size could be swallowed. This young lady here could be swallowed because they all fit within the size range that is known to big pythons of under 150 pounds. So if you weigh 151 pounds, you're probably safe. On the other hand, he'll still squeeze you to death. It loops the coils around your chest, exerts pressure, and as you exhale, he tightens. As you exhale, he tightens, and so forth until you have no more breath and then you suffocate. It takes about a minute and a half. And it's not all that painful. If you'd like to come back and try it.
No, I'm not having it. How about we take a
But I do not have a python large enough to swallow this gentleman. Because he has very broad shoulders, nor this man here. The head, you see, cannot stretch to, the jaws cannot stretch to encompass the shoulder area, which is the problem with the broad shoulder. Now you get the head down and do that for a while, working back and forth, and then he'd start on the leg and he'd come up and get stuck here. And if you manage somehow to get both legs together, then he might be onto something. But that's not so easy to do. And so it doesn't often happen, and they often just leave these larger victims for dead and don't then give up on them after a while. Scott is going to go inside and risk his life for your entertainment.
Yay!
I'm going to try to feed the reticulated python, which might not be hungry because it's going to shed its skin. That's what happens when they go to shed. They often just stop feeding. But we do have two hungry ones in the front, I believe. But he's going to first try that big guy in the back with the rabbit.
You could just throw the rabbit in there. Oh man! Yo, snake attack! Attack! Yeah, you made a move.
Now you see, we ran away from that one. Why did we run away? Was it because we were cowards? Could be. But that's not the real reason. We ran away because we don't want him to get the rabbit. We want to try this guy right here. That one will get the rabbit if he can. You see how fat he is. He's big enough to swallow you, and you.
Hey, what's you?
Now, Scott's going to sneak in around here and try to get in there to where the reticulated python is. Raise this rabbit on that monster. Goodbye, Scott. That, if you're wondering, is the Easter bunny. Hopped in off the wrong bunny trail.
He needs two
Now
rats.
Scott's just trapped with nothing but a rat in his hand. The yellow one will eat the smaller rabbit. She likes rabbits. Scott's got to be quick. Because that big one's going to come over there and make a mess of it.
Are these poisonous? Yeah. I'm just scared that one's gonna kill me. This would be a better poisonous. Looks like that's right nuts over there. Scott is dead. The yo snake isn't hungry. He ain't hungry.
Well, I don't know what we're going to do here.
He ain't hungry. Actually, we want Scott. I'd be scared. No, he wants more interested than Scott.
He's a sneaker. I think what we'll do is catch this yellow one and lock him in this box with this rabbit. That way. So, how about catch the yellow one? Look at that. Throw him in that little. Yeah, throw him in there.
I've seen snakes that long. I held a snake that long. What's up? I love, let go. These ones don't strike so much.
Okay.
Will the snake bite you?
tiger, it's not even a shark. There are only about 50 shark attacks in the whole world each year. Kids, shh. There's only about 50 shark attacks in the whole world each year. Most of them don't end fatally. The shark bites you by mistake. It's not the case with crocodiles. In Africa alone, crocodiles eat 1,000 people every year. Southeast Asia, about 250 more people are eaten by crocodiles, swallowed, digested, and excreted by crocodiles. But not excreted entirely. For human beings, as you know, wear all sorts of jewelry. Baubles, bangles, beads, earrings, wristwatches, eyeglasses, cigarette lighters in their pockets, coins, cameras, cell phones, on and on and on. All this stuff lodges in the crocodile's intestines year after year and actually helps him to digest his food, grinding up in the meat. Your best friend has been eaten by a crocodile and you're eaten some months later, your best friend is helping to digest you. Crocodiles are very smart. They have the intelligence of a house cat. They can even be taught tricks. Bubble Boy knows his name. He knows this game. He knows what it's all about right here. He's heard my speech 1,000 times before. He's completely sick of it. But he wants me to shut up. Get to the good part. But he endures it patiently or impatiently, as the case is. Crocodiles have the most powerful jaw strength of any animal in the world. You have about 124 pounds of jaw pressure. Tiger shark, 350 pounds of jaw pressure. An African lion, 450 pounds of jaw pressure. Crocodile has 2,700 pounds of jaw pressure. So when a crocodile grabs you, there is no getting out of his jaws. On the other hand, almost anybody could hold a crocodile's jaws closed. Even this young lady right here. But we won't give you that opportunity today. There's only one thing you should always remember if you should happen to fall in crocodile-infested waters, and that is to get out.
What is the difference between
But you must get out very quietly, very discreetly.
alligators have
Do not splash.
crocodiles have the sharper snouts.
Whatever you do, don't make any sort of
Alligators
splash.
have
You just
knees,
maybe
crocodiles like bees.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He's gonna gobble that up in one big gulp. It's a whole chicken, the biggest one we could find.
Wow.
Told you, see it right there in the bottom. It's like a skin frog.
How it's going.
Yep, that's right.
He knows now.
Cobra's moving now.